Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. We have had a jam-packed weekend of news. The conversation seems to never stop in the world of Destiny. In this video, I'll be breaking down what's been going on with 3 of Coins over the past weekend and Bungie's response to the whole situation. I'll also touch on the new Fall of Osiris webcomic, now free to read on Bungie.net. Also, Bungie has started to give us more information about what they're working on for the future of mods and Masterworks, including the idea of Masterwork armor with the ability to re-roll your base stats. A lot to talk about, so let's get into it. So let's start with the news about 3 of Coins. One thing I definitely noticed throughout the weekend, and most of the community noticed as well, is that the 3 of Coins didn't seem to provide a super noticeable increase in the rate of exotic drops. This led to a lot of us thinking that 3 of Coins may be bugged or even broken. Community manager Deej tweeted out through the weekend that we are monitoring player feedback about the new consumable and will provide more information on Monday. And that's exactly what they did. Well, it turns out that sadly 3 of Coins may be working as intended. In a forum post, Bungie clarified how exactly 3 of Coins is supposed to work. They stated, when players use a 3 of Coins consumable, this provides a 50% increase to the base chance of being rewarded an exotic engram upon activity completion. Using the consumable does not guarantee an exotic reward upon completing a set number of activities, but rather increase chances upon each activity completion. This may not seem like much, but different activities do have different drop rates, so as you complete more and more activities over the 4-hour buff period, the percentage will keep going up. This makes sense when considering that most players seem to get the exotic drop towards the end of the 4-hour session. Now, where we see this more is during milestone turn-ins. I myself received 2 to 3 exotics this week from milestones while using 3 of Coins. My guess is that exotic drop rates from milestones is something like 20 to 25%, so increasing that by 50% is a much greater increase than other activities. They also noted that 3 of Coins is not currently working with heroic strikes as it should be, so if you're doing strikes for exotics, you may want to stick with the Vanguard strikes instead. They are of course investigating a fix for this, but it's still worth keeping in mind. Anyways, moving on to more positive news, yesterday marked the debut of the Destiny webcomic series, with the first issue being Fall of Osiris. The story chronicles the origins of Ikora and Osiris. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but seeing Bungie invest in this kind of world building is very exciting. The 10-page comic is available at Bungie.net completely free. Also in the comic there exists a hidden code for a free in-game Osiris themed emblem. If you want to explore that on your own, you may want to skip the next 30 seconds or so. It's a fun little thing that is sort of reminiscent of the codes we saw with the physical items in the collector's edition of Destiny the Taken King. The code appears in the comic as Morse code. Interpreting the code itself reveals the following code you see on your screen, and of course if you redeem this over at bungie.net/redeem, it grants you an emblem to use in-game, available to collect at the collections kiosk. Now, next up, we got a very nice update from the development team about the direction they're taking Masterworks. They don't have specific dates on when these features will be added, but they outline the major bullet points. In regards to acquisition, they stated, we're implementing a new mechanism that we can use to limit long dry spells and Masterwork drops due to bad RNG. We will also be looking at adding some guaranteed sources of Masterworks, but we are working on a broader plan to improve prestige activity rewards, and it might wait until then. We are watching overall drop rates and usage over the holiday, and will adjust drop rates and material costs as needed. Now, this definitely sounds pretty cool. We already have a heavily increased chance of getting a Masterwork from Raid and Trials of the Nine, but at least for, let's say, Prestige Nightfall, it would finally start to give us a reason to actually play it, especially once Masterwork armor comes into the mix, as we'll go over in a moment. Now, in regards to Masterwork inventory management, we're planning on a fix of Masterwork cores not going to your postmaster if you're full on consumables. To help prevent accidental loss of Masterwork cores, we're extending the dismantle timer to give players a larger window to stop the process. So be sure to keep this in mind, especially if you plan on farming Masterworks over the next couple weeks. Next, in regards to the stat bonuses that are granted by Masterworks, they stated the following. Right now, the stat bonuses are small tweaks intended for players who want to optimize very deeply. We're watching feedback and are excited to adjust and add more stat bonuses in the future. Once we have more information, we'll share our plans with you. Then they go on to talk about how the current UI does not include a feature for you to be able to tell which stat rolls are even possible with each weapon type. They listed the possibilities in a handy list on the site, so I'll go ahead and leave a link down below to the post so you can give it a look. Sadly, no impact anywhere to be seen, but it's definitely nice to know this now so you don't have to try to find out the hard way. Now, aside from that, they talked about Masterwork armor. This is something that they hinted at before, but are now starting to give us some more details. They stated, "We have begun plans to add Masterworks to armor as well. The armor bonuses will be more modest than orb generation on weapons, in part because you have 5 equipped at once, but at minimum we want to provide a much requested mechanism to change the armor stat type." This is such a brilliant move. Giving Masterwork armor the ability to change the stat type is a huge step in the right direction. I might be able to finally spec out of mobility with my hunter. I think this is the key to make you care about Masterwork armor. This feature can't come soon enough. Now, perhaps even more exciting is some hints at upcoming improvements to the mod system. They stated, "We don't have a firm ETA yet, but feedback on armor and weapon mods has been heard. At minimum, we are looking to ease inventory pressure, for example, collapsing per slot or per class mods. We're also seeking to make mods a more meaningful part of your loadout decisions. As I've said multiple times, this is one of Destiny 2's biggest untapped potentials, at least that's what I believe. I think the Masterwork weapons definitely shows Bungie that there's a good number of us that really care about the min-maxing of things, but then I think we still need those big impactful customization options, and that can be granted with a better mod system." And that's pretty much the major bits from the past weekend. Today, of course, also marks the start of the Dawning Live event, a 3-week event that goes through the holidays. You can expect a full tour of the event shortly after it kicks off at 9 AM Pacific. And you can join me on Twitch later today, where I'll be streaming the event live. So stop on by and say hello. I also want to open up my stream as a place where you can come and ask any questions you have about the game, or if you simply want my thoughts on a particular topic. I love hanging out with you all and chatting about the game, so definitely stop on by. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think of Masterwork armor and being able to re-roll that base stat. Also, do you think that the changes that they've presented to us are starting to move the game in the right direction? Let's discuss. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time.